It's a wonderful to see you once again, and here I have come once again to express my views, my point of views, my feelings to you all. Today my topic would be the usefulness of speaking English. The usefulness of speaking when we are talking about learning English language or any other language. Speaking, how speaking helps us to understand the language, the grammar, and some other things in a very quick way. That's my real real aim actually. So first of all, let me tell you my identity. Let me express my identity to you all. I'm a English teacher in a school, in a higher secondary school. So let's get back to our topic. Let's get back to our main topic. How speaking helps us to understand language. Let me tell you, actually, when you're talking about the English grammar or any other grammar, if we want to capture those grammar, uh, then if we tries to capture the vocabulary, some of the vocabularies of those languages, it takes a lot of time, and it requires a lot of memorization power also. And whatever I think, as a person, as an English teacher, I find a lot of students are struggling when they want to capture a lot of vocabularies, they want to capture the rules at first, then they want to speak English. It takes a lot of time, and they find it really difficult to capture all those English rules because as we are the Bengalis, Bangla is our main language, mother language, and we are not comfortable in English language, and there is a fear of English language in everybody's blood. And we find some of those exceptional person who find it easy. They enjoy learning English. In most of the cases, we find the learners of English language find it really difficult. They don't enjoy the rules. They don't enjoy they don't enjoy this language. They find it really difficult, and as we need this English language in our official sector in order to grasp our highest learning, they have to learn, and they are bound to learn English language. If this is not the case, they will left it somewhere else actually. They never ever will learn this language, and we will lag behind. There is no doubt about that we will lag behind as a nation, because as we are improving, most of the companies around the world will come to our country to invest their money in our country. As you accept this, as the world are becoming a global village, we need someone's help. As we are not self-sufficient, no countries around this world are self-sufficient, so we need somebody's help. So we have to understand English, we have to um, speak English very fluently. It's a order of the world, and so we cannot avoid that. And as you know that there are four stages of learning English, or there are four sectors of learning English or any other language: listening, speaking, reading, writing. My most people would like to give preference as first of all reading, then writing, preference to speaking. But as he I would like to give preference to the speaking first, because if you can speak English fluently after grasping a lot of vocabulary and English structure, first of all you have to capture some vocabulary, you have to memorize some vocabulary, then you have to capture how to write English structure, the basic structure of English sentence, and you would be, it is very wonderful, and it's actually um, it's very simple actually, because only some few structures are English structures are there. I think 100 or 200 maybe, not more than that. If we can capture those, if we can understand those English structure, English becomes very easy for us to grasp. We can make a lot of sentences from those structures. We don't we have to understand the English grammar. We don't have to memorize all those difficult rules of English structure, sorry, English grammar. We can, we will be able to make a lot of sentences, we can write a lot of sentences, we can read the sentences, uh, and we can do some other things also. I think this is a very easy way for a non-English students to grasp English in a very easy way. Grasp English structure, as the number of English structure is so limited, and you have to take 5 or 6 days or 7 days to capture all those English structure. Then you have to write down some sentences with that, as whenever you will try to write down a structure, you can memorize the structure. Okay, then if you want to can you will be able to write down those sentences. In order to write down those sentences, you need some words, and here vocabulary will help you. If you know the vocabulary, if you can write down the structure, you can write a lot of sentences, you will understand the other people are saying, what other people are saying, and you can able to communicate with them in a very easy way, and you don't need to grasp all those grammatical rules and some other things to understand this English language. Actually, the English language is most probably have some 100 and 200 English sentence structure, which is very easy to memorize for any kind of students. So then if you can speak English fluently, how can it help? It helps the other. It helps some other thing. It helps you to develop some other skills. Let's try to make it clear that if you can speak English fluently, you can write down your feelings in your kata. That means you can able to write down those things in your kata accordingly. You don't have to memorize paragraphs, you don't have to memorize some essays, you don't have to memorize letters, you don't have to memorize emails, which is a very hectic thing for our Bangladeshi students or some other non-Bengali, non-English students. Writing is a very difficult thing for them. Actually, they tries to memorize a letter or paragraph or an email written by some other people, and they, first of all they just read those lines, then they tries to memorize it. But if you can speak English fluently, you can able to write down those feelings in your kata, and your paragraph will be finished, and it will be good for reading, and you will get a good marks in your kata. You don't have to memorize those things, which is not helpful for any for learning any other language. And as a English teacher, we never ever welcome this practice. Then whenever you want to, if you can speak English fluently, you can able to grasp what other people are trying to say. That means your listening power will be developed automatically. That means you can able to understand that what other people are trying to say. Then accordingly you can be able to, or you will be able to speak according to it. That means you can if you can speak English fluently, then you can able to listen what other people are trying to say, and you can able to write down whatever you would like to write. And by this way your three basic skills will be developed. That means speaking, writing and listening. Then comes reading. As you can able to write down those things, you will know, you can identify the English alphabets. It's a very common thing. Everybody can understand that. It's a matter of common sense that you can able to identify the English alphabets. Then you can able to read any text or any newspaper or editorials or any other things that come on your way. By this way, if you can speak English well, you can your all four basic skills will be developed. I hope that uh, this advice will definitely help you to help your four basic skills in English, and you can able to read, write, listen and read English or any other language in a very easy way. And remember, first of all, try to speak that language. Don't focus on grammar, don't focus about your mistakes, don't focus about what you're trying to say and what you are expressing at the initial stage of your speaking. Don't focus on all that. Just speak. Whenever you will speak, all those basic mistakes that you are doing, by practicing speaking, it will reduce day after day. So you can learn that language in a very easy way, and as you can speak English fluently, all those grammatical mistakes will be rectified today or tomorrow. How can we develop our speaking? Before speaking, we have to grasp. There are only two tips that I want to give you. First of all, grasp all those English structure, which is very few in numbers. I think to 100 and 200 structures are there in English language. If you can capture all those English structure, and if you can write down by using those structure in your khata, then you and try to speak anything, or tries to make any sentence with those structure. If you can able to do that, you can definitely speak. And then if you need some words, you need some vocabulary, and we have to grasp some vocabulary. Whoever grabs a lot of vocabulary whenever he needs to speak English language, he can able to speak that language in a very easy way. And don't feel afraid. And this is my ardent request to all the learners of this wonderful language. Don't feel afraid, don't feel ashamed. Be open-hearted. Try to grasp this language, because without this language you cannot do anything. You need this in official environment. You need to do this for your promotion. You need to grab this language for highest seat of learning. And you know that this is a globalized. This is the world which is open for all the people around the world. You can go anywhere. You can grasp anything if you know this language, because any reference that you want, you need, is in English. So don't feel afraid. Don't bother about what people are saying about you. Whenever you can speak English, they will definitely welcome you. And you know that there are only few people who can speak English fluently, which is a bit of bother for our country. bit of bother for our country, as I have told you that. So you will not be among that. Will grasp this language, will enjoy this language, we can able to speak this language with all our heart. With that hope, I would like to conclude my today's discussion. I think this discussion will definitely help you to speak this language, and you can able to speak this language very fluently, and it will help you in days to come. And last of all, I want to make one very important point, that never ever bother about the pronunciation. Whenever you will bother about pronunciation, whenever you will bother about the sentence structure, when you will bother about what are you trying to say, and what are you saying about so many components, you will never ever can speak this language. So speak as you are speaking your mother language. You can do a lot of mistakes. Don't feel ashamed, and by that you can speak this wonderful language very short time. So thanks for being with me and being so patient, having so much patience. It's lovely talking to you all, and I think my 20 or 20 30 minutes discussion will definitely help you for your speaking. Thank you very much. You are such a wonderful audience. Bye for now. I'll see you soon.